Whether you're making a fun personality quiz for your audience or a more professional one for your work, this tutorial is for you. After you define the personality quiz you'd like to create, you need to create a project. Click on New Formaloo and choose Survey. This will open a dashboard with survey template we can customize. Click Edit Form to begin adding your content. For a personality quiz to function correctly, you'll need these 4 key elements. The most common choice field you'll use is the single choice field, where respondents select one answer from multiple options. Variables act as placeholders for hidden calculated values. These variables are linked to specific questions and can be refined later for dynamic elements like calculated scores and logic-based rules. Logic is the set of rules that dictates how the form behaves, how responses are processed, and how a result is determined. First, add your single choice fields. These will be answers defining what responses quiz takers will get. Now add variables and name them after your results. You should have as many variable fields as many results you have. For example, for this quiz, we will have 3 personality types: Strategist, the Adventurer, and the Protector. Now let's set up the ending pages. This is what your users will see, so make sure to customize it as you wish. For example, I'll add descriptions to the text. Make sure to name the ending pages, since it will be important while setting up the logic. To make it all work, we need logic. Click on any field and go to Advanced Logic. Think of this process as filling up 3 different jars with coins. Each jar represents one of the personality types. As users answer the quiz, every response they choose will add coins to one of the jars, or personality types. The more answers that lead to a specific type, the more coins that jar collects. In other words, each answer is tied to a variable, and the more questions that align with a certain variable, the higher the points for the result. At the end of the quiz, once all coins have been counted, the jar with the most coins will determine the final result. You'll need to set a rule for each question, ensuring that every answer leads to a specific result. For example, the rule for the first question will look like this. Once you've set rules for all questions, scroll down to the bottom and find the section labeled "On submitting the form." At this point, we've assigned values to each answer, but we still need to connect these values to the specific result pages. To do that, we'll set rules here to display the correct ending page based on the highest score. For example, if the strategist has the highest score, we'll set a rule so that after the form is submitted, it will show the strategist ending page. And the same goes for other personality types. Now that the rules and logic are in place, you can focus on designing the form. I always prefer doing the design once the smart form is set up. Here's what the final form will look like. If you'd like to have results emailed to users, you'll need to add an email field to the form. Then head over to the Notified tab to enable the Send Email to Respondents option and set up custom emails. For a detailed walkthrough, be sure to check out the video guide linked at the top right. Next, go back to Advanced Logic in the On Submitting the Form section. Instead of choosing After Submit, go to Ending Page, select After Submit, Send Email, and choose the template. And that's it! You're all set to automatically email quiz results to your users. Happy Formalooing!